So what's up, guys? Barrett Freeman here with another episode of the PropertyTales podcast. Thanks for joining us. Today I've got Nick.
Butt licking. No, I'm just kidding. It's Beeklein. It's German. Buechlein. I also go by Tuck Fard on TikTok. Papa's piss bucket.
Nick's out of Western Kentucky now.
Yes, sir. Big Clifty. Repping the 270.
270.
The 270.
Nick's a comedian on TikTok, Facebook. Are you on Instagram too?
No. I like
You just
I like to be a
boycott
smart
him?
ass and say I'm a social media influencer.
I think you are by definition.
By very definition, and that's bizarre to me.
So, but the reason I reached out to you was just because of how much success you've already had. I can't believe the views and followers. I mean, what kind of timeline was that?
Most of my growth, it took forever to get up to 60,000 followers, and then it went bloop to 120,000, and then it went bloop to 500-some thousand. Like, it's been spurts. So, like, to ask, like, how long's it been? It's like, well, overall, I've been on TikTok for 6 years, but I was really shadow banned there for a while. I've had setbacks, which I asked for. I was being an asshole, but while I was figuring out the game, like what you can say, what you can't say, this, that, and everything, you play by the rules, you do all right.
I guess, but like you described it as like going up to the line and knowing where the line is and not crossing it. But that's probably been That's probably helped you with some of your pops.
Yeah,
because I don't even see the line in my content.
I know exactly where the line is because I done crossed it already. Like I cross it and come back. As soon as you get flagged for something, that's when you're like, eh.
And you've got all these followers on TikTok. Are you starting to get recognized for your social media?
It happens. Oh man, this is a funny story, and it's true. I first realized I was making it because the comedian Sam Miller was going to be in Knoxville. He invited me to come meet him. This was right after I hit my first time I ever hit 1 million views on a video. It was talking about gas dirt bikes and stuff. See, I've had done a lot of comedy being anti-electric vehicle. Like, it's got a niche. Two-stroke swap the world. On our way, I took my mom with me. We were headed to Knoxville, and I was in the bathroom, and I had got this shit. It's like a 5-star, and I had to shit really fucking bad. And I'm like, kind of waiting. There's a guy in the stall, and he opens the stall door. He finishes what he's doing. He opens the stall door, and he looks at me in his face, and his eyes got that big. And he goes, "Did you make that TikTok about the dirt bikes?" I was like, "Yeah, I did." And he goes, "Oh, cool. Watch out. There's a turd on the floor." And there was a little piece of shit about this big right in front of the toilet. He said, "It's not mine." He said, "But I had to go, And then right then an employee walked in. We were like, "We're sorry, dude. We are sorry, but you have to get that turd." So we made him get the turd before I took my shit. But that's the minute I knew things were going places. When I got watching that boy's eyes go, poof, I can see when I'm getting recognized in public. Like they'll make that eye contact, and it's kind of, it feels so good.
Well, before we planned this, I was sending some of your videos to some of my friends. Like, hey, do you know this guy? We're doing a project together. Most people knew who you were. So it made me happy. The only person that hadn't seen you was Rotio and Brad, but they're not desk on TikTok anymore. So what is it? A certain demographic that recognize you, or is it all ages?
Well, I've had my content stolen enough times where it's reached a little bit of everybody.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean. I reached the Philippines real good a while back. I got like 4.5 some amount of millions of views on a fart. I was hungover. If you go back to it's Extreme Power Sports in Litchfield, Kentucky, you scroll back a few months, you'll see me in the parking lot farting right in my phone and posting it. And in the comments section, it's all from people in Indonesia and the Philippines, but it's millions and millions and millions. Like they all sent it to each other. This one fart,
just loved it.
You know what I mean? So it's like.
What's the dream here?
What's the dream? My dream right now is to buy this farm back I grew up on. Just to be honest with you, that's like my overall, like, if I had a goal, if it compare it to something saying, if there was no budget, what would you buy?
Right.
If there was no budget, what if you could accomplish any goal, what would it be? And it's to try to get this farm back, man.
What's special about this farm?
I consider it to be the place I grew up. It's where I became a man, if you will. You know, I lived a lot of places growing up, but this one was real special, real special. And it's in Woodford County, which is some high dollar ground. And the market has changed. So it's going to be like a few $1 million. So I'm even beyond that. Like a few $100,000 can't help me at this point. Like I'm about the money.
How did you lose the farm?
My dad sold it. My dad, I don't believe, is a mentally healthy man. He's got some anger issues and he's not very good, not very nice to our family. And I believe that he sold that as kind of a power move in my mom and dad, the death throes of my mom and dad's marriage. I mean,
well, Josh can help you buy that farm back once you.
Yeah.
Yes. We just need a few $1 million. That's all we need. That's all we need. It's not.
We will ride in the van back.
We will be especially cool if I could take my mama home. You know what I mean? Because she was just as attached to the place as I was. So if I could be like, Mom, here you go. Gosh almighty. It's like life would just be complete at that point, you know.
If you keep going like you are, I think you'll get there.
That would be so awesome. That'd be so awesome.
I did not want to go down the social media rabbit hole, but start a sales company, you got to sell. And if you're on social media, you aren't selling the right way. I did a reel just like a month ago where I was like, people, if your realtor hasn't posted on Facebook today, fire your realtor.
You want to do a calendar?
I'm
you know how funny it would be. You know
realtor
how like, a
calendar.
lot of realtors, it's just a calendar and maybe there's a tag, you know, below it so much, and it has the months but smaller, and then this business, this number, you know what I mean? But then you still got for the whole year that will be hanging right there.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like on page 12, it'll hang down a little bit. These old country style, like it's whoever's running for sheriff kind of tactics. But it's me almost, not quite, almost naked.
Okay.
Yeah, like Speedo shit. Like, yeah, dude. Like dude.
Josh, why didn't you think of that?
I did. I just didn't pitch.
You could hand out as many as you could get printed. I promise you, people would request those.
So you don't know a lot about me, but my brother and I actually own some houses and apartments in the area. We could have the calendar just on the fridge when people move in. We don't have to. We don't even hand them out. We just make it part of our system.
Yeah. part of the package.
Like, Mom, what's on the fridge?
Nah, man. There's so many really cool things that can be done. It's just a matter of marketing. If things can be done properly, they can make money. It's like, you know, the Whistling Diesel approach to things. I feel like, and I don't know about his marketing. I don't know how he does his shit. But to me, as an observer from the outside looking in, it seems like he just hits it with brute force. He has enough following to where if he does $200,000 worth of damage to cars, he makes $500,000 or whatever,
right,
you know, on the footage. His budget's different. In order to get there, you have to get a momentum.
Do you know who he's talking about? Mm-mm. So this guy literally blew up a Lamborghini in one of his episodes.
He like put it through like a wood chipper and shit. Yeah. But it's just he's balling on a whole other level. It's just he's balling on a different spectrum.
He's got that.
And in order to
what's his name?
Can work.
Whistling Diesel.
Whistling Diesel.
One of my buddies literally showed me a video like a month ago of him catching a Lamborghini on fire that he had rented.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll buy like really nice classic trucks and then just destroy them. And it's you know, you can't help but be like, haha, but it gets under your skin because you're like, it's a goddamn 101. You know what I mean? Like, he destroyed like a Model T Ford. Y'all are dealing with a whole different animal.
It's all right.
Oh my God, you should have fucking seen that damn van pulling it. I pulled up and I see two Teslas and I'm like, yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah.
That's probably the one.
He pulled up to my house like a few hours ago. He texted me. He's like, hey, I made it. I was in my office still. And I'd called you on your way. And I was like, let me know like the window. It's no big deal. But I was like, let me have a window, but you didn't answer. No big deal.
I was driving on him.
My wife's like, a van just pulled up. I was like, well, that's got to be him. So anyway, pulled up, saw a bunch of Teslas.
And I'm in my shitbox Chevy van.
It's all right.
You know what I mean? But it's a good van. All right.
It drove 2.5 hours.
And then it drove 2.5 hours. One of my fans give me that van. It's got a flat screen TV in the back. There's a lot of rock from Fallsgate. It's a good van. 350 small block Chevrolet. You know, with all due respect to the Cybertruck that pulled up, when I saw it come around the corner, I was like, "You gotta be shitting me."
I drive an old Honda, old car too, so it's like whatever. I would drive a van. No, I always wanted one.
Thing looks trusty.
Well, you can sleep in the back. Like, that's one thing I loved about it, man, because I could literally go anywhere at any time, get as hammered, drunk as I wanted to, and then just pass out in the parking lot in the back seat if it folds down into a bed. You know what I mean? Like, it allowed me to do a lot of things on the fly, just having the transmission's freshly rebuilt.
Those are the uses of the van that don't make like the commercials.
Yeah,
That's like half the point.
yeah. They don't. You won't see it in a commercial. Somebody drunk passed out in the back at a bar somewhere.
So, well, hey, Nick, welcome to Corbin.
I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, this is your first time in Corbin.
No, I've been here a couple times before.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's been a good experience every time.
So
it's been really nice.
So I reached out to you on TikTok because I love your stuff. But for people that don't know who you are, you know, tell us about yourself.
Well, I guess you call me a comedian. It's hard. Like, it feels like such a dream come true to be able to say that. Feels like I'm making something of myself. But I'm on TikTok as Papa's Piss Bucket. That's got a whole story to it. Facebook's been lollygagging around on getting me verified. There's been some complications. But in order to get verified, there's been a struggle I've been having. I have to use my real name.
Yeah.
So it's my government name on there, Nick B. Klein.
I wonder what people do. What do the celebrities do? Vin Diesel's real name's not Vin Diesel.
I wish they'd tell me, though. I wish there was a number. I would pay money, like 50 cents a minute even, just to call them and say, can you fix it, please? You know what I mean? I think everything's just run by computers anymore.
Yeah, but you're an entrepreneur now, working for yourself.
You could call it that. I like the way you think. I like the way you think. Self-employed. Not unemployed. Not unemployed. Self-employed.
So you make your money doing social media. I mean, that's a job.
Sir. Yes, sir. Now, we're not wealthy by any means, but by God, I'm not starving. I'm not starving.
How would you describe your comedy?
There's always going to be something for everybody. Obviously, I have, that Kentucky country niche thing, pretty well down. But I really do take pride in my work, and I'd say I got a little something for everybody. But real life recovery humor is one. Recovery from drugs. I did them drugs. I drank that alcohol. I did inhale. I'm adjusting on the fly, and I'm kind of documenting the process, as time goes on.
You want to talk a little bit about the recovery thing? You're California sober right now?
Yes, sir.
Have you heard that? Have you heard that before?
No, I have not. What does that mean?
It's a new thing.
Okay.
Cannabis only. Cannabis only. No alcohol, no any harder drugs. Man, I'm not going to lie to you. The way I see cannabis, when I consume cannabis, I see it as no different than the average person drinking coffee for the caffeine, which is addictive. I can function. Right now, consumed probably enough cannabis to put you down. You know what I mean? But it works with me. I know over time you do build a tolerance, but you know what? You can't overdose on it. It's not like you're going to find me crappie flopping in the floor in here,
Purple. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like I found myself in a position where I had to admit that I'm probably just never going to be sober. Like, me and my brain just don't agree with it, but we can go for some harm reduction. And that's how I've arrived here.
Would you ever consider acting like an actual movie?
Well, I appreciate you setting that up for me right there. That's good looking out. Good looking out. No, I'm an aspiring actor at this point. I tried stand-up comedy, and I just didn't feel like I jived with it. You know what I mean? It just didn't hit me as a passion. It hit me as a stress. I was nervous. It was maybe something I could come back to. Right now, I feel like my creative outlet for, monetary gain is really more leaning toward the acting thing. I've been promoting the idea of potentially of bring back stoner movies, bro. We were discussing earlier how the last good stoner movie was Pineapple Express.
That was a good
You know
one.
what I mean?
Danny
market's,
McBride's the best.
the market's ripe for the picking.
Yeah.
Here, boys. And this is where, if we had the budget, Broken Lizard never made Potfest.
That's true.
They never made Potfest. We need it before Willie Nelson goes. We were promised it. It come out when I was a senior in high school, and we only have so much time. How we still have Willie with us, I don't know. But I'd bet he'd make a cameo for a really reasonable price.
He's still touring right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it would probably not be hard to literally get him in just a couple scenes, just to make that would be American like.
So this is why I invited you down. Your creativity is just off the
Autism.
chart.
Absolutely autism. Yes.
And
Yeah, we all express it differently.
And the comedy, and I don't have the comedy. Josh, I can joke around all the time off
He's
camera,
got the good looks. That's what he
That's why
fucked up.
I got him on camera.
That's a nice beard. I am at a place in my career, if you will, where I am thinking professionally about a lot of things. Like, what is the long-term goal? And obviously, like the whole point is monetary gain. All right.
That's why we're working so hard.
So if
That's why you drive
if
3
we
hours.
were to treat if I were to treat this, because you got two real jobs, several jobs. I don't. But if I were to really just dedicate to this, I'd say we could make it work.
I mean, I'm taking it dead
Some amount of
serious.
money. Yeah.
How often do you write your story or decide what story you're going to tell before you actually press record?
This happens a lot. I'll be talking to somebody, and then I'll just kind of think of something, and I can expand on that, and then I just kind of freestyle it.
The first video I ever saw you was your White Claw rant. Like you're like, yeah,
That was real. I was so fucking mad.
I don't know which video you're talking about. I'm talking about the one where you were saying I've been talking bad about White Claw this time, but I'm actually starting to.
Oh
like
yeah,
it.
that one. Yeah.
You're like all the police know is there's a 6'2" Sasquatch on the loose.
Yeah.
And he's unpredictable at best.
Well, it's because it's that damn vodka in it, right? Like White Claw is like vodka, and then so.
There is a vodka one, but I don't know if
I don't know.
High
I don't
Noon.
know.
High noon.
Yeah, dude, that's been a while, man.
It has been a while.
Things change up so much, man. Like if you get a video hit 1 million and some views, you have but it dies. I've hit 1 million views on a video 17 times so far.
Poor Josh, when he proposed us partner up with the real estate company. So Josh is a realtor with my company. I didn't know if you knew that about him. I know because you guys were talking a lot.
That's right.
I saw his face on a sign on the wall. I was like, "That's him."
No, that's Blake and Bear. That's his brother.
No, your signs are in there too.
Oh yeah.
It looked a lot like you did.
That is me. That
it
is
looked
me.
a lot like you.
That is me. Yes.
Yeah. What's sad is like I do is put your face on a sign, and people do think, oh, he's famous or knows something. So that's why I put our signs all over town.
Yeah,
you can't go a mile without seeing Freeman Brothers something. I even showed him the big sign on the side. I was just proud of it.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. On a 1 hour podcast right now, we can just keep going.
No, because I want you to rest a little bit before we do the Wrigley.
Okay.
Because you've been going hard.
But here's the problem. If I lay down, it's going to take me a few hours before I get back up. I might as well keep going.
All right.
Lay down a good 1 hour one and then promote it and see if we can't get a bunch of views off of
It's a
it.
great idea. So when we got to Corbin, I did give you a tour around Corbin.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of Corbin?
Hey, no, it's a beautiful town, dude. Like, there is something about small town Kentucky. There are, it's almost had a feel of like how I feel Versailles used to be, because I grew up in Versailles. It's just that it's a pretty quiet, quaint little southern town. It's a nice little southern Kentucky town here. And would you consider this the mountains?
We consider it the mountain.
Yeah.
You consider it the mountains. But it's a beautiful place. And it's not like you're hearing gunshots go off all the time, which if you're out of, you know what I mean.
Oh, I enjoy it. I'll be here the rest of my life, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like a
no matter what
beautiful
happens with
place.
my career. It's just it's great schools. Josh has some kids in school here. We're very lucky. Very safe, very quiet town. Great education, great sports. So, and then tonight we're actually going to go to the Wrigley. Have you ever heard of the Wrigley, seen the Wrigley when you came previously?
I had passed it, you know what I mean? But it's one of them things. A lot of times I'm in my own little world. But I'm excited to try. What would you get if you were?
They got their burger with an egg on it.
I love a chussy. Good old bees chussy.
Is that what they call it?
That's what I call it. I'm
I see where
sorry.
they're going. I got it.
Hey, it would be. How do you feel? How do you feel about 420?
I don't smoke weed. I had asthma, so I didn't smoke anything. And then when the technology caught up to where I could actually smoke weed,
You just didn't have a taste for it.
I didn't have a taste.
Just didn't have a taste for it.
So I drink beer and bourbon and wine.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
that's where I
Gotcha.
go.
Gotcha.
And we're busy and responsible.
I'll be the first to tell you, you got to be able to put your responsibilities first. You know, I'm a pothead. I'm a stoner. I am a pothead. You know what I mean?
But you chose one of the few professions that actually could be like a performance enhancing drug.
Yes, it's one of the few careers where you can sit at home and smoke pot and bake videos.
Just come up with ideas.
Yeah, come up with ideas. You're right. You know,
I can't believe
but
the ideas
not
you
every
just spit out. We're just sitting around like, oh, this be a good video. This be a good video. This be a good video. I was like, it's been 30 seconds and you just listed 3 banger ideas.
Oh yeah, dude.
I don't have that genetic.
Thing is, man, I finally found a job that I love. This is a job that I absolutely love. I can't express how grateful I am to just the stars or the gods or God or whatever, because I can't. I've made it through too much in this world to feel like there's not at least something. There's something that's going on. Fortunately, can't smoke pot. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you, there's a lot of jobs where it might not agree so well.
What was your last day job?
My last
with a
day.
boss.
Well, this is a multi-part.
Complicated question.
Yeah, my last day job, I owned my own used tire business. I had connections in Lexington with different tire dealers, and they would save me. And I had just connections to junkyards, so yeah. But I'd collect good, usable but used tires, and then I was the only person. This is what really did it for me, is I'd include mounting and balancing for free. So, which it wasn't nothing for me to do. I could mount and balance a tire in 5-10 minutes. Like, it wasn't shit for me to chuck a tire.
Just a way to add some value other people weren't
Yeah, you know what I mean? Instead of charging that $20, you know, but I'd get good business that way, and I treated everybody real good. But I owned the business, Dad owned the building, we butted heads. I was a used tire guy. But then the one before that, I did a little small amount of metal fabricating at a beehive factory. But a small amount of metal fabricating. I mean, the welds are a couple inches long. They're hard to fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to call myself a welder, but I have welded.
Josh is just now starting his social media kind of climb, because in sales we have to be on social media.
Well, he's handsome as shit.
It helps, but also it's hard to get in front of people.
Women try to treat him like a piece of meat.
That's right. Don't say that. My wife might hear that.
Oh my God. Look at the fucking smile on this guy. Look at
That's why we hired him.
beautiful guy. I can see how he could sell a house. You know what I mean?
Will blow.
He looks like a guy that would settle down with you.
She will blow this video up, or this room up, this building.
Oh my God.
So
I'm kidding.
There's like if there was a chart on when it was just Rothio trying to convince somebody to sell their house, it was nothing. We hired Josh, immediately up. Rothio.
He looks trustworthy. He's got a trustworthy looking face.
She's European. She's hard to understand sometimes. Josh can actually relate to these people around here. I think it's made a big difference because we had people would call being like, we're interested in you guys selling your house. I'm not any good at it either. I'd meet with them and I'd convert 0 listings. So Josh was with us a week before he got his first one actually converted. So it's working out.
I'm showing off my Muha skills. I end up in my own little world. Like, if you're just talking,
you're gone.
No, talk. You got the stage. This is stuff where it's like, you got that camera, you got that camera. I'm just fucking off. I'm not meaning to distract you. I'm literally just in my own little world. Got me out of it. You're a good fella. I like you.
That's why we. That is why we don't do this live though, because I can just cut to him. You also, I appreciate that advertisement that we'll use talking about how handsome he is. That's
right.
definitely a good realtor ad. I'll just cut that, make it real.
Dude, you could. Trustworthy looking faces.
I agree. Phone's just been blowing up. Has your phone been blowing up?
I have set it face down. I have not been paying attention. I don't get notices on my phone. I only find things as I find them. I have to find them organically. I just go back and check. I had to check out of my phone to an extent because of the way things were going. You know what I mean?
You're getting a lot of messages and notifications like crazy.
And were going. You know what I mean?
You're getting a lot of messages and notifications like crazy.
And everybody is full of shit. You know what I mean? But you have to hear them all out. You know what I mean? And that's what, when I told you just the way we had our first conversations, I could tell it was different because it wasn't, oh, shit. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, let's talk about this business. And I was like, I'm listening. And then you said some things, and I said, what? And I said, but, and you said, I. And I was like, you know, what's up, man?
Any big projects like out in the world?
Big projects, man. I'm still on this stoner movie thing. This is one like I'm pitching. If we can get people interested in it enough, you talk about investors. If we can prove people are interested in it, like if we can get it enough concretely together to say this is the pitch, I can see about getting a following for it on Facebook and TikTok, essentially free. It'd be free advertising for the movie to all these followers. So it's like you got X amount of views just in the bag right there.
It's powerful. When you have a following like you, it is powerful. So we're working really hard to get our own following. But we're just not in the entertainment space. We're in the realty sales space. It's just not as big of a pie of people. Is there anything you want to tell the audience that you've got going on? We'll wrap it up here.
Well, I think we should probably do this again.
I'd love to do this again.
This would probably be fun to do again.
Yeah. Thank you for coming to Corbin. I'm excited to show it off tonight.
Oh, dude, like it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna be trying to feed you some beer. Like, just be advised. Be advised. I came all the way here. I'm gonna guilt trip you. I came all the way here, dude.
3-hour drive.
Come all the way here, bro.
Yeah, we gotta talk Josh into coming by.
Yeah.
We'll have a good time. Yeah. We'll have a really good time. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see Corbin and the culture and what have you.
We'll show it off. All right, guys. It's been another episode of the PropertyTales podcast. Thanks for joining us, and we see you next time.
Whoa.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was so good. Oh, yeah. That was only